Alright people, today we're gonna analyze Lorne Armstrong's scams. In addition to being a pedophile, he's also a scammer. Like, that's a perfect combination. Like, I wonder what else we're gonna find about him. Like, scammer, thief, lazy, deadbeat, alcoholic, smoker, pedophile, child abuser, child predator, and scammer. Like, what else? You know, what else? First thing I want... Lorne is a man full of surprises. So anyway, this is a courtesy of Pastor Elise Gingrich, and I must say that when Elise Gingrich prepared that, she put a lot of work into it. We're going to see that to collect, group, edit, and present this book. It was supposed to be presented during a Lorne radio, and Sam was leading the Lorne radio episode where it was supposed to be presented, and he scoffed at it, and he said like, you know, and he really act like, sorry, that's me, that's my girl. She's an adult, so okay, sorry, it distracted me because she sent me a sexy message. Anyway, so Sam scoffed at him and act as if it was nothing. I think he didn't enjoy having the spotlight taken from him, but I know Pastor Elise Gingrich was really hurt because she has put a lot of work into it, and Sam, I was going to say scam, Sam just ignored it. So I'm going to take a minute to really appreciate what she's done for us. This has plenty of stuff, plenty of evidence, and plenty of interesting little tidbits about Lorne Armstrong and the scam he ran. And I know she was hurt that Sam just didn't give a damn about it, you know. Sam, he was a bit possessive with the church, you know. It's his church. And up to a point, I think he tolerated me and Shaman. But these days, less and less, you know. He's the creator. He founded this. It's a bit like a cult leader, you know. And he doesn't appreciate that people are rising. Yeah, basically. So, next thing I want to say, Pastor Elise Gingrich is an ex-Mormon, and that's what she talks about here. Pastor Elise Gingrich. She wrote a song too. She's an ex-Mormon. I think she talks about it somewhere. I remember a discussion we had about John Smith, I think that's his name, the creator of Mormonism. And she got me interested into Mormons because we don't have that here, you know. We're lucky. We have Jehovah's Witnesses, but it seems that they're less annoying in Canada than in the US. Like, they never knock at your door here. They never like try to get you in a cult. So it's like Canada is like a nerfed down version of the US. Like, the good is nerfed down, but the bad is nerfed down. Like, Mormonism here is really rare. And we have some abusive Jewish cult, and I'm not talking about Jewish people. I'm talking about Lev Taylor. You know, they lock their children in the oven. That's like, you know, we're gonna take a time out. We put the child in the oven, and we shut down the oven. Like, not on. No, they don't turn the oven on, but they still put the kid in the oven. It's a good way to become claustrophobic. Anyway, it marked me. So that's why I'm talking about it. And we also have Scientologists. Thank you very much, guys, for that. You brought that cancer here. But we don't have Mormons. And we talk about Joseph Smith. I think that's his name, or John Smith. Like, I never take the time to learn the names of potentates and psychopaths, except Lorne, I guess. But anyway, so she talked about Joseph Smith, how he was a pedophile, he was a thief, a con man, and she remember she told me Joseph Smith has a lot in common with Lorne Armstrong. He was attracted to young girls. He was a swindler, a scammer. He was a liar, and he had a group of people devoted to him. So I'm really saying that it's kind of ironic that Lorne has a religion after him. I take it as a joke, but many people take it seriously, and they act as if he's a messiah, much like Joseph Smith. So yeah, she talks about it. The Book of Mormon, the Books of Durango is an ongoing revelation that include many Lorne-inspired texts. One thing that pisses me off is that when Sam made fun of her, she stopped updating the book. So now we have what we have. So anyway, we're gonna go and we're gonna talk about Lorne. This is Lorne. And in case you wonder, it's not like a shirt he bought at a store. Like, I don't know, is there a store that sells a shirt like that? Like, you can buy it. You think it's a prisoner mugshot, but it's just like It's just like your shirt, man. It's not a pretty color, but it's not, there's the TV series Orange and the New Black, so maybe they sell shirt like that somewhere. You could have at least fixed the collar, and you could at least stand straight. Next thing I want to say, look at this man. This man is a scammer. And also the ears. I've always wondered why the ears were like a gremlin. Maybe he was born like that, but maybe when they pulled him out, they used like forceps and they just crushed the ears a little bit. That would explain why they're like that. He looks, he's fucking ugly. He's fucking ugly as fuck. But this is a scammer. This is a photo of Pastor Ewig Gingrich. She talks about it. My husband's name is Frank. We run the Church of God LDL. Not anymore. Thank you, Sam Pendleton. She says, yeah, that's what she said. Prophet Joseph Smith. We modified it to fit the context of Lorne Armstrong and Lornography. A woman's life was destroyed. We're going to see that it's right. It's very interesting to study Lorne's scam. Last thing I want to say about Lorne. We know that he did a few other scams. The interview with Sam Pendleton, Lorne talks, Betty OK. She talks about a mechanic that Lorne Armstrong tried to scam, saying, fix my car for free. And when I'm in Nashville, I'm going to send you money. Like, yeah. Whatever. And he also scammed a college teacher that died. We're going to see that Lorne had a business. With that business, it seemed that the septic system work was real. He could fix septic tank. I'm going to talk about why he could do that and not the construction. It goes back to he's a loser, basically. I'm going to talk about that later. But it seems that the septic tank business, he did that well. He could fix a septic tank for real. And I think it was kind of the opening the door. So when he fixed the septic system, he does a good job. And people, they need help. They're going to hire him again because he did that right. There isn't much money to be made from fixing septic systems. We're talking about maybe the biggest operation is installing a new septic system. We're talking about maybe $5,000. And we're talking about maybe that's a pretty big septic tank. The only thing you got to do, you got to buy a new septic tank, but that goes to the builder, not the installer. The money to be made is digging. You have to rent equipment, so you have to pay for the equipment. But we're talking maybe about, let's be very overly generous, $2,000. That's pretty expensive to dig a hole. I would do it for $500, but you rent a truck. Oh shit, there's construction. Of course there's construction. I'm making a video and there's always a moron drilling and... Well, I'm gonna finish what I have to say and then I'm gonna go then. Fucking hell, man. It's always... And it's gotta be like at the end of my video. So anyway, to install a septic tank, you dig a hole. You put the new septic tank in it. And then you put the tubes. You connect the tubes. And then you fill up the hole. Basically, that's what it is. I'm telling you that $2,000-$3,000 for a pretty big septic tank, that's all it costs. So overall, you're not going to make a lot of money installing a septic tank. Yeah, you got the verification, the license, the permits, and all that. But again, it's not you, it's an inspector making money. So it's not a place. It's a place where you make maybe 2 a month, so about 24, but you can't make them in winter. So about maybe 20 installation a year. You're going to make maybe $60,000-$70,000 a year. The real money to be made is, of course, the construction. Now you can, with construction, you can charge a lot. There's no limit to your creativity, how much you can charge. So that's what I wanted to say. So here we're gonna talk about this story. This is his company, A1 Septic Services. The address is actually his brother's house. I believe we're going to talk about Paul and Tony Farmer and Paul Armstrong. They're his accomplice. They're co-scammers. The scam is soon going to become very, very clear. But basically, I think it was Paul's address, and Paul, I think, was barred from starting a company, probably because he ran some scams himself. So Lorne became the CEO of the company. But when we're going to look at some of the scams that he ran, I don't think that it was Lorne that came up with the idea. I mean, Lorne was the CEO of the company. Well, CEO is a big word, but he was the owner of the company. I'm going to say it like that. There's no CEO, but I think that's either I'm wrong and he's been doing that for a long time, either it's his brothers that use them. But then again, you're guilty. You know, if somebody wants to go rob a bank and they say you want to come with us, if you go, you're still guilty. But overall, I think that Paul and Tony is two co-friends, and a few others. There's a certain Ronald. We're gonna talk about him a bit later. I think they get off too easy. Yeah, they're I think the mastermind in the operation. I don't think that Lorne actually is smart enough to mastermind that operation, and he's gonna do a couple of fucks up. So I think that Lorne was really acting as the decoy. Bad choice of word. I really think it's Paul that ran that scam. I think that Paul was the mastermind. I think they were gonna steal $30,000 from that lady. I think most of the money, most of the 30,000 went to Paul, up to a certain extent Tony, and Lorne probably made, like Lorne received the money, and during the interview, Betty says he was asking her for more money because, of course, like all scammers, and she asked, "What did you do with the 30,000?" He said, "I paid my employees." So I believe that Paul kind of used Lorne's stupidity. He says, "Hey, Lorne, you have a $30,000. You need to pay us for a month. That's $10,000 each." So Lorne, he had 30,000. He said, "Okay, 1/3. That seems honest." He gave 10,000 to Paul, 10,000 to Tony, and he had 10,000 to himself. And I believe that's the way it went. Might have spent 1,000 or two on some maybe gas for his truck, maybe wood. But overall, it's rather clear that my own guess is that Paul. I mean, Paul is not the brightest bulb in the lot, but I think Paul had more experience. I know Paul was he had a company, he was running some probably scams. But anyway, Lorne is the one that's going to do most of the work. He's going to be the one that he's going to cajole his victims. He's going to handle it. Betty said that he looked professional, he looked knowledgeable, but that's who he is. He's a good bullshitter. So I think he was the face of the scam, not necessarily the brain. We're going to continue in part 2.